कुंज बिहारी।
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी।
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी।
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी।
जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी।
जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी।
जय यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन।
जय यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन।
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 जमुना तीरा वनचारी।
यमुना तीरा वनचारी।
जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी।
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामा राम राम हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे राम राम हरे हरे।
जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद।
जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद।
जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा।
जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा।
जय जय गुरुदेव 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 गुरुदेव।
जय जय गुरुदेव 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 गुरुदेव।
जय श्री राधा माधव भगवान की जय।
जय
जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह भगवान की जय।
जय
जय कौर निताई की जय।
जय
जगत गुरु श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय।
जय
पतित पावन श्रीपाद महाराज की जय।
जय
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय हो।
जय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
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 नारायणं नमस्कृत्य
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
ततो जयमुदीरयेत्।
ततो जयमुदीरयेत्।
नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु
नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
भगवती उत्तम श्लोके
भगवत उत्तम श्लोके
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी.
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी.
Welcome everyone. Today we are going to study from Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 6, Chapter 16, Text 41. Vishamatirna yatrinam
विश्वमतीर्न यत्र नृणाम्
tvam aham iti mamutaveti cha yadan yatra
त्वमहमिति मम तवेति च यदन्यत्र
Vishamadhiya rachito yaha
विषमधिया रचितो यः
Sahya vishuddha kshaishnur dharma bahulaha
स य विशुद्ध क्षयिष्णुरधर्मबहुलः.
Adharma bahula. Yes. Thank you. Translation and purport by Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Ho.
जय जय.
Being full of contradictions, all forms of religion, but Bhagavad Dharma work under conceptions of fruitive results and distinctions of you and I and yours and mine. The followers of Srimad Bhagavatam have no such consciousness. They are all Krishna conscious, thinking that they are Krishna's and Krishna is theirs. There are other low-class religious systems which are contemplated for the killing of enemies or the gain of mystic power. But such religious systems, being full of passion and envy, are impure and temporary because they are full of envy and they are full of irreligion. Purport. Bhagavad Dharma has no contradictions. Conceptions of your religion and my religion are completely absent from Bhagavad Dharma. Bhagavad Dharma means following the orders given by the Supreme Lord, Bhagwan, as stated in Bhagavad Gita. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. God is one and God is for everyone. Therefore, everyone must surrender to God. That is the pure conception of religion. Whatever God orders constitutes religion. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavad pranitam. In Bhagavad Dharma, there is no question of what you believe and what I believe. Everyone must believe in the Supreme Lord and carry out his orders. Anukulyena Krishnanushilanam. Whatever Krishna says, whatever God says, should be directly carried out. That is Dharma, religion. If one is actually Krishna conscious, he cannot have any enemies since his only engagement is to induce others to surrender to Krishna or God. How can he have enemies? If one advocates a Hindu religion, the Muslim religion, the Christian religion, this religion or that religion, there will be conflicts. History shows that the followers of religious systems without a clear conception of God have fought with one another. There are many instances of this in human history, but systems of religion that do not concentrate upon service to the Supreme are temporary and cannot last for long because they are full of envy. There are many activities directed against such religious systems, and therefore one must give up the idea of my belief and your belief. Everyone should believe in God and surrender unto Him. That is Bhagavad Dharma. Bhagavad Dharma is not a concocted sectarian belief, for it entails research to find out how everything is connected with Krishna. Isha Vasyam. Isha Vasyam idam sarvam. I'll repeat this sentence. Bhagavad Dharma is not a concocted sectarian belief, for it entails research to find out how everything is connected with Krishna. We'll come to this line. According to the Vedic injunctions, Sarvam Khalva Idam Brahma. Brahman, the Supreme, is present in everything. Bhagavad Dharma captures this presence of the Supreme. Bhagavad Dharma does not consider everything in the world to be false. Because everything emanates from the Supreme, nothing can be false. Everything has some use in the service of the Supreme. For example, we are now dictating into a microphone and recording on a dictating machine. And thus we are finding how the machine can be connected to the Supreme Brahman. Since we are using this machine in the service of the Lord, it is Brahman. This is the meaning of Sarvam Khalva Idam Brahma. Everything is Brahman because everything can be used for the service of the Supreme Lord. Nothing is mithya, false. Everything is factual. Bhagavad Dharma is called Sarvotkrishta. Yeah, Sarvotkrishta. Where's my mouse gone? Ah, here it is. The best of all religious systems, because those who follow Bhagavad Dharma are not envious of anyone. Pure Bhagavatas, pure devotees invite everyone without envy to join the Krishna consciousness movement. A devotee is therefore exactly like the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. He is a friend of all living entities. Therefore, this is the best of all religious systems. Whereas so-called religions are meant for a particular type of person who believes in a particular way. Such discrimination has no place in Krishna consciousness or Bhagavad Dharma. If we scrutinize the religious systems meant for worship of demigods or anyone else, but the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we will find that they are full of envy and therefore impure. Om Agyantimirandasya Gyananjan Salakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Swarup Damodar Swami Niti Namine Namasad Bhakta Manayaha Mani Purudbhavaya Cha Prabhupada Lasadvani Prachara Nirtayate Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshe Tarine जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे I like to offer first of all my most humble obeisances to Maharajis present here. Please bless me. Then all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis and everyone present in this gathering to bless me so that I can share some light. So Bhagavad Dharma and there is one Bhagavad Dharma and second is Kamya Dharma. In Bhagavad Dharma, we try to connect everything and everyone in service of Krishna, whereas in Kamya Dharma, we try to engage everything and everyone in service of ourselves. And whichever cannot be used in our service, we tend to reject it and call it mithya, false. And this is actually this is definition of envy. Actually, definition cannot be subjective. Definition is one cannot say I define like this, I define. The definition of definition itself means demands that it has to be exact, defined. Fine means finite, fine, finalized, fine. The finest description of the meaning of anything. That is definition, which is finalized. Like we say deterministic. Deterministic means which terminates. Terministic. Like we have in Mumbai these stations called it Chhatrapati Shivaji Terminus, right? VT, Victoria Terminus. Terminus means the terminal point where the trains finally halt and terminate. The journey is terminated. Similarly, deterministic. In similarly, definition. Definition means it's finalized. Final, finalized means that's the exact description of the meaning of that particular thing or meaning of the word. Now, what do we mean by finalized, or when do we say that our description has been finalized? We can say that only when we see that very thing in connection to Krishna. That is the meaning of the word definition. Definition of definition. What is the definition of definition itself? Definition means the moment we describe anything in connection to Krishna, how is it connected to Krishna, then that's a definition. So now what do we mean in connection to Krishna? We mean how it can be used in service of Krishna, or how it cannot be used in service of Krishna. That also. For example, alasya cannot be used in service of Krishna much, and our wicked habits also most of the time cannot be used in service of Krishna. So Krishna is the foundation. He is the seat of all definitions. So if we connect everything to Krishna, or develop this practice of connecting everything to Krishna, then we will see that everything is mysterious. There is mystery everywhere. But however, if we choose to resort to subjective description, that I think like this, you think like this, today is my definition, tomorrow it may change, then the mystery will not remain anymore, because I have defined, so it's ये मेरी definition पे खरी उतरी है चीज. So it is serving my definition, it is serving my description for the time being, so the mystery is gone. And therefore, something seems mysterious to us, and something does not seem mysterious to us. That very thing does not seem mysterious to us because that thing has been explored by me. How it has been explored by me? Because that very much stands following it is following my description. And so therefore it has been explored. So therefore there is no more mystery. And therefore that the subjective definition that's defined like this, like this, like this, like me, like, you know, that is the, I think that's pretty much could be the fault in modern science, wherein it's appalling that the scholars are also taught on how to define things without God. And that will lead to all the scholarly arguments and fightings and verbal altercations. So this is purely because The Bhagavad Dharma and Kama Dharma. Bhagavad Dharma means that I define everything's connection with Krishna. And when I am done that, when I connect everything to Krishna and everyone to Krishna, because everything is actually coming from Krishna only, and how we can use everything in connection to Krishna, then everything will be filled with nectar instantly, and we'll find rasa in everything. That is Bhagavad Dharma. Bhagavad Dharma means connecting everything with Supreme Personality of Godhead. So therefore, that very line is really very wonderful. Srila Prabhupada ji is writing here. Bhagavad Dharma is not a concocted sectarian belief, for it entails research to find out how everything is connected with Krishna. It is not a concocted definition. It is not a concocted sectarian belief. In the case of subjective definition, here the sect would mean the singleton class comprising of only me. I can also be a sect in myself. So whatever I think, that is the definition as of now. But that's not Bhagavad Dharma, that is Kama Dharma. So Bhagavad Dharma means, so this basic definition we should understand. First of all, the definition of definition itself. So everything is Brahman, which means everything is of Brahman. And because everything has got, as His Holiness Govind Maharaji, Bhakti Swarup Govind Maharaji has been beautifully teaching us Roop and Swarup. So everything has got a functionality, Swarup. And the constituents of anything you take, they're constituted like that because the Swarup is determining their constitution. And then what is the Swarup? The Swarup of that anything is to be utilized in service of Krishna. So that is Brahman. For example, for me, there seems to be a difference between my mobile and my pen, because a child will say that in the roop wise, the form, right? They both are different. Constitutions are also different, and everything is different. That is one way of defining things. That is how we define things normally. But however, if we choose to define things in a particular model, we choose this model, that now onwards I will define everything as its connection to Krishna, God. Then we can see that the pen is also defined like this. Pen can be used for service of Krishna. The mobile can also be used for service of Krishna. So both are Brahman, because both are satisfying the same definition, right? So, so therefore, everything is actually Brahman because everything can be used in service of God. Brahman. Brahman means, here Brahman would mean Krishna, the condensed Brahman, the Supreme Personality, that Brahman. It can be used in the service of Krishna. How can we use anything in service of impersonal Brahman? How can we use anything in service of Paramatma, Supreme Personality of Godhead? So then that is Bhagavad Dharma, right? To understand that everything is Brahman. Bhagavad Dharma also means that the everything is real, nothing is false. Because if you remember, I said we call something as false if we don't see any opportunity or any avenue of it giving any satisfaction to me. जैसे वो लोमड़ी कहती थी ना, अंगूर खट्टे हैं, the grapes are sour. Or that also reminds that sometimes when a rabbit is being chased by fox, and when the fox is quite close to the rabbit closes its eyes and says, "There is no fox, mithya, there is no fox." Or and the fox in turn says, "The grapes are sour." So both are like these are our own manipulation because they don't serve my purpose, kama dharma. Therefore, I can call that thing as false. And if something is serving me, serving my purpose, then I accept it that that is true, truthful. And in fact, people they don't hesitate to say even that God is false. God does not exist. Because the moment God is introduced, my kama dharma is eventually suffers such a tumultuous disturbance. The moment God is introduced, it kind of disturbs the very firm definition which I have been clinging myself to, that everything is supposed to serve me. And here I'm introducing God and saying everything is supposed to serve Krishna. How is that? So God is false. God does not exist. That is Kama Dharma. Okay, Kama means where the center is me only, and Bhagavad Dharma means where the center is Krishna. Now in Kama Dharma, here in this sloka, this word has been used that they are impure and temporary, and they are full of adharma, irreligion. They're full of irreligion. So why are they impure? They are impure because of three reasons. Because they kind of promote attraction, hatred, right? That I have already, someone who is not, you know, serving me, or who is not aligned to my description, Hindu dharma, Muslim dharma. So that cannot be accepted by me. Sometimes it is very disturbing when some practicing Vaishnavas also kind of identify themselves as Hindus. And like you must have seen many such childish people saying that हम अपना भगवान को भजेंगे और मुस्लिमों को अपना भगवान भजने दो. What do you mean? There are two gods? There is only one God, right? And same God, everyone is a child of same God. Hindu, Muslim, anyone, all the living entities, right? So everyone is a child of same Krishna, same Supreme Personality of Godhead. What do you mean by Mera Bhagwan, Tumhara Bhagwan? That is childish attitude. So Vaishnavas, practicing Vaishnavas, they should also develop this attitude of seeing everyone in connection to Krishna, right? And not identify themselves with uh, Hindus, sectarian. That is actually to identify oneself with a particular sect and others with their sect is actually not religion, it is irreligion. That's why it's in Bahula Dharma. Adharma Bahula. Adharma Bahula means it is full of irreligion, wherein we, rather than connecting everything to Krishna, we are connecting things individually based on our viewpoints. That is adharma. That is not very much very much a religion, right? Kama dharma. So This is point number one, attraction and hatred, right? Number two is destruction, because such a such an irreligion, such a viewpoint is destructible. It is whatever I'm thinking now, tomorrow I may myself change it, my own definition. So it is destructible. It is, and someone else may replace it. And with I gone, suppose if I leave, then where is the value? What is the value of my concocted definition, right? So, and then one more thing, if I am seeing mystery in something now and I'm not seeing mystery in something because of its alignment with my viewpoint, so my not seeing mystery in something, it will be distracted when we take the next birth, and as a child we again see mystery in everything. So this is the idea, dear devotees. Then number three is temporary results. This kind of religion, this kind of clinging to only one sectarian viewpoint gives only, remember the sect can be singleton clause also. It can comprise of only me and no one else. Most of the time it is like that only. So it gives temporary results. Temporary results means the results which we get, that satisfaction we get. Oh, I am a Hindu. I am very much comfortable being a Hindu. I am very much comfortable being a Muslim. That contentment is temporary. It is not the contentment. It's not a real contentment, because it is irreligion actually. Why it is irreligion? Because it is not connected to the supreme religion, Bhagavad Dharma. Okay, that is one meaning of impure. So it is said avishuddha shaishnuha, not pure. Why temporary? Avishuddha means it is impure. Why it is impure? Because shaishnuha, it temporary. And the second point is said adharma bahula. Adharma is it's full of irreligion. And why it is full of irreligion? Because it promotes violence. Violence. And what is the meaning of violence? Here I'll give you the definition of violence. Remember, the definition means everything is connected to Krishna. So what is the definition of violence? So Prabhupada ji himself is giving the definition of violence. This thing is not going. Is it visible? So ahimsa means not arresting the progressive life of any living entity. So ahimsa means, non-violence means to check the progressive life of any living entity. Every living entity has got a purpose here. The ultimate purpose is by following the gradual or the swift, whatever, process of evolution, right, in terms of their consciousness. They are slowly and slowly, they are progressing towards Krishna, right? If we practice bhakti yoga, then that's swift. But in other animal kingdom, or for that matter, even human beings who don't know about bhakti yoga, they are also they are also progressing. Na? They are also, at least the animals, they are progressing. But if we check it, if we check this progress by killing them, killing is just one instance of checking. We can check the progress towards Krishna consciousness in varieties of other ways, by giving them disturbance, right? Or by teaching them the aesthetic science. And the biggest himsa will then therefore will be to teach them the doctrine of Mayavad, or to teach them anything which takes them away from Krishna, thus killing their intelligence or killing their very body and hence checking their progress in the path of Krishna consciousness is the definition of violence. So in religion, adharma bahula, there is plenty of violence in this concocted way of, concocted way of defining dharma. So that's not the case with Bhagavad Dharma. So devotees are the real merciful people. Okay. So what's the time now? 8:36. So there, yes. Therefore, we should see everything in connection to Krishna. Like, for instance, that day I was talking about the generally people see everything as bhogmay. So we have to transcend all the way from bhogmay, that it is not for my pleasure, and it is brahmanmay. Everything is brahman, right? Then we take it to krishnamay. Everything is used for the service of Krishna. And then finally to sevamay. Krishnamay would mean that everything is smeared with love of Krishna. That is krishnamay. Sevamay means I will now use that in service of Krishna. Bhogmay means I'll use it for me. So an atom can be used for myself. I can, you know, glorify myself by telling others the intricacies of atom and how these intricacies were discovered by me. So glorify me, laud me, right? That is how you are using atom for yourself. So you have discovered intricacies, but you have not introduced intricacies. So Krishnamaya would mean that in these intricate details in the atom, the mathematics in the atom, I'm also seeing the mathematics of love. Why there are so much intricacies in the atom? Why? Because Krishna loves me. Why there are so many intricate details in the universe? Because Krishna loves me. Krishna has made these intricacies in an atom and the universe so that I, the rebellious child of Krishna, can dwell in this material world. So that's why Krishna has fine-tuned everything and intelligent designing. That is Krishnamaya. Sevamaya would mean that now I am able to see this love of Krishna in an atom. I will I will share this love with everyone. I will glorify Krishna and Krishna's love to everyone. And in this way, you will be using the atom also in service of Krishna. So when Seva mein, when the beauty is that when things are seen as Seva mein, then all the um, other points are also covered. Then Krishnamaya is also covered, Brahmanmaya is also covered, and listen to this, when Bhogmaya is covered. How Bhogmaya? Because then you will enjoy that thing as prasad from Krishna, right? You'll enjoy with Krishna. We are not asking you to stop enjoyment. We are asking to enjoy with Krishna. Enjoy everything as prasad from Krishna. Then atom will become the prasad from Krishna. Enjoy it, right? You enjoy glorifying Krishna. So the moment, you know, anything is utilized in service of Krishna, that very moment, that very thing will give us instant pleasure. That is Bhagavad Dharma, right? And everyone also, that I will not only be this, be clinging to my singleton sect, I will rather take it to everyone. I will tell to everyone that how Krishna is present in the atom, his love is present in the atom. Then the atom will not be my bhog vastu, atom will become the prasad from Krishna. That is Bhagavad Dharma. Otherwise, adharma bahulaha, it being the consequence of my concocted sectarian philosophy would be that it will be bringing only violence. And violence means, violence, I have defined violence. Violence does not only mean thappad marna or marpeet karna. Violence also means to check the progress of anyone. Progress here would mean progress in the path of Krishna consciousness. Thank you very much. Now, I may like to invite others to add and ask questions and see if I can answer. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you for this wonderful class. Yeah, if anyone is having any question regarding today's class, they can raise the hand and ask His Grace Srikant Prabhuji. Yes, Balramji, please. And
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, so here, a very nice verse, and you described it quite well. So I like to understand how to establish this Bhagavata Dharma. So when we say, I mean, how to establish means we have to eradicate all the different sectarian beliefs or faiths. So when we say my God or your God, so that means because we say like that, because we cannot prove to anyone that God is there, or God belongs to me, or God belongs to you, or God belongs to everyone, and everyone is God's. So how to I mean, establish that faith or belief, and I guess that could help in establishing the Bhagavata Dharma. So could you throw some light on that?
Thank you for asking the question, and I really thank you for having concern how to spread Bhagavad Dharma. Actually, you know, charity begins at home. So first of all, we have to convince ourselves that what I am identifying with. We have to start with ourselves. And my God, your God, rather we should say our God. Right? Our God. And so we should start with ourselves, convince ourselves.
But how do we say our God? Because if we say our God, then we should know that we can prove to others that God is also there. Otherwise, the others won't believe. They will say, I don't believe God is there.
That's why I said, first of all, start with ourselves. Now, if you start with yourself and you are completely convinced, then people seeing your conviction will definitely be attracted to you. If you are, however, going out without any conviction in yourself, then people will not be attracted. This is the idea. So a pure devotee, when he goes out, he attracts everyone's attention. Like Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaji. Guru Maharaji went to Pakistan, and those were offering great respect to Guru Maharaj. So Srila Prabhupada ji went to Western countries. The pure devotees have got this aura, you know. So my suggestion would be, and definitely other Maharajis will also add, I feel that we have to first equip ourselves. First of all, we have to fight our own demons. We have to convince ourselves. We have to like align ourselves completely with Bhagavad Dharma. Once it is done, like then how the iron pieces are attracted to magnet, people will also be attracted by your good behavior, by your loving behavior, right? Love is very important rather than imposing on them every time gyan, gyan, gyan. If you just give them love with your good behavior and attitude, then people will be attracted to you and by your sadhu qualities, by your good qualities. And then you can start telling them about what you are already convinced with. And that I see is one way, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. Very nice.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Yes, our Nilmada Prabhuji is having a question. Nilmada Prabhu, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam.
Dandot Pranam.
I have a little bit confusion on. Can you explain what is the like once you ask now, definition of definition and what is the dynamics of definition? It's so much confusing for me.
There is no confusion. Definition means if you define it in connection to Krishna, God. Because God is a seat of all definition. How are you able to define things? Because the intelligence is being given by God. So God is a seat of all definitions, and hence if we establish connection of a thing, its connection with God, then that's the definition of definition. And what do you mean by connection? Connection means it is Brahman because it is of Brahman, because it can be used in the service of Brahman. Its cause is Brahman, its cause is Krishna. It is an effect of Krishna. Krishna is the only cause. It is effect of Krishna, product of Krishna, and it can be used in service of Krishna. There are various ways of connecting things to Krishna, and that's various ways, actually the only way to define thing. Bhagavad Dharma.
Hare Krishna. Actually, why I am getting confused because our professor sees definition differently, and to understand that like any phenomena, so that way I am unable to find any coherence. So if you can, Hare Krishna.
So, so it is our responsibility to see things in the we kind of should do it without any prejudice or without any extra imposition, external imposition. That much intelligence at least we should have. I'm there.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Sometimes my network
Yeah,
night is deceiving me a lot. Anyways, so please keep
yeah,
telling me. Yeah.
yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Prabhuji, I have a question. So, shall I?
Why not, please?
Yeah. So you are saying like these kind of self definitions are there, like, or subjective definitions are there. Even coming to this bhakti path also, like, we do have that thing. So even after listening so many times that we all should be in the same line, or Krishna is the thing and we should follow our guru, and we should be on we should be with one motto, or the service should be done in this way. So but even there we do have so many difference of thoughts and difference of opinions. This minus or I-ness will be there. So how to get rid of it?
That's why Gurumukh Padma Vakya Chitte te kariya hai kya? That is one thing very important. If you are following the instructions of Guru Maharaj Ji, then Chitte te kariya hai kya? Guru Maharaj Ji has given us instruction. And so that instruction, what is that instruction? That instruction is like a child. We should take care of that child, like how a mother takes care of the child. So we have got to save the instruction from all the other disturbing elements. And believe me, the number one disturbing element for our instruction is our own selves, because we can choose the instructions to manipulate. We can justify that Guru Maharaj has given me this instruction, so I can work alone, and I will be. So we don't know how to execute an instruction. So therefore, like how a mother would always remain under the protection of her husband so that the baby can be taken care of, so we should also remain with our senior god brothers, because they know how to safeguard an instruction. The biggest danger is from us only. So when we are doing that, serving an instructions under the protection of our senior god brothers, then where is a question of difference? And so there should not be any. And one more thing, the Rome was not built in one day. It's a gradual process. We are learning. Overnight, we cannot expect ourselves to become completely aligned to the real Bhagavatam. We are learning. We are adherents. We are aspirants. And so if just we cling to, then one fine day it will definitely make it.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji.
And suppose if there are some differences, sometimes we should definitely, as Govind Maharaj Ji has been encouraging us to do, we have to give them the benefit of doubt, and we have to think that most of the time we should think that the fault should definitely be in me. And as I have already shared, that's a very difficult thing to see faults in me. But one must give this also a thought that probably I myself am the cause of these differences. And so then when you see that you yourself are the cause of the differences, then there will be no difference at all. Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Yeah, there are no further questions. Maybe we can hear from Maharajis. Yes, Govind Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, you can do very nice. This Sunday, we feel very much occupied because time is also available. You know? That's a very good thing. I was intrigued by a couple of points regarding definition, and especially the example of fox and the grapes. So,
Yes.
so in that example, I wish you could take us a little further in the context that the fox trying very hard and to catch the grapes, and somehow because of its own limitations, it's not able to do. So out of frustration or whatever, or to establish its fox may be the more powerful in its company, you know, and then it established itself. I have, and the grapes are not worth it. They are sour. But imagine, but because the fox knows that it is based in not in truth. The fox knows it still because it can rule over others. It establishes through its prowess that whatever it thinks is right, and everybody else to follow it. But it knows inside its heart, because the false ego is like that. False ego, however we want to establish inside of everyone, the person, he knows it may not be the right thing, but it tries for some. But my scenario, I want you to explain. What if the fox becomes little more powerful, does some, you know, and figures out, yo, because I haven't reached the grapes, let me just jump higher and reach the grapes. Imagine if it reaches the grapes and the grapes are really sour.
Mm.
What will be it? What now it will try to establish? You know, it's another irreligion. Another now it can hide. The first one she could hide because nobody else has the capacity to reach the grapes. So that's one point. But here it has reached the grapes, and what it's oh, it's very, very sweet, although they are really sour. So it can also
It can manipulate, yeah. Anyways.
exactly. So in the religion and irreligion, especially the definition aspect you talk was very intriguing, because it's deterministic and just play with the words. Terminal, you know, determinal. They are complete opposite.
Yeah.
So fundamental definition, something which cannot be terminated, and that's why when any definition reaches its absolute nature, when it is connected to Krishna, the Krishna cannot be terminated. Na?
Mm.
Krishna is the eternal factor. So the question is, this ego, this false ego, it rules. It rules. Srila Prabhupada and our acharyas, they are just trying to help us out to come out of this unfounded establishment in any definition or any concept we take. So, how you this Bhagavad Dharma? What is the foundation of it? Because everybody is following so-called some authority or something like that, but still the oblivion continues. How the Bhagavad Dharma, which we are trying to profess, stands out? What is its like that? Because without that, we think that we won't be able to help the fox also, even if it changes its opinion or if it tries to establish, which is again falsity.
Mm. महाराज जी आप ही कुछ इसमें बोलिए. I'm pretty sure you must be having a lot of elaboration from my side. Whatever my intelligence could help me. I could be wrong also, so please correct me if I spoken something. May I request Maharaj ji only to throw light on this, the tenets of Bhagavad Dharma, the axioms.
No, but actually, you are more than fully qualified. We really always look forward to hearing from you, because you have given a lot of thought. But Bhagavan, you know, Bhagavad Dharma is Bhagavan.
Yes.
The Prabhupada and our acharyas, they established that without establishing who Bhagavan is, this multiplicity of secondary or temporary religions or false religions will remain.
Yes.
Because Bhagavan cannot be defined. One can call, even in name of Bhagavan or Ishwar or Allah or God, these are all ideologies. Without without finalizing. But who is he? That's why God is a person, the ultimate message Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj wanted to give to the world, and especially to the scientific community who have such a hard time to acknowledge that God, some concept, how can he be a person? And that's the most difficult thing to digest. Again, same thing in, that's why this Bhagavad Dharma, it has so much, most people have so much difficulty to come to this understanding because they have tendency to fight with the person. Person can be fought with. No? So it's, to accept one person as the supreme, it's the most difficult thing. But then the Supreme himself established. That's why this amazing line Prabhupada quotes thousands of times. Bhagavad Dharmam tu Sakshat Bhagavad Pranitam. Let God establish who is he, So that way it becomes possible. Otherwise, multiple religions and their fightings and differences and ideas, and it's like fox-like, same thing. So that's why I wanted to elaborate that how this fox, when somebody takes the position as a fox, and now it has to rule, it has to establish its rule, even in falsity. It will continue in falsity until it also comes to Krishna connection. So how to help the foxes to realize that Krishna is the Supreme, Krishna is Bhagwan.
Yes.
And in that context, when we try to establish the Rupa and Swarupa, the literally Rupa means disposition. Just it's a little contemplative thing. And the Swarup is the identity which is fixed. Swarup cannot be changed, Jive Swarup hoy Krishna Nitya Das. It cannot be changed. Has anybody ever changed? Knowingly, unknowingly, no matter what action we take, inevitably we end up serving Krishna only. In some context, willingly, unwillingly. But even if we don't follow Krishna directly, still we are following him only. Mama vartmanu vartante manushya partha sarvasha. In that context. So when it comes to Rupa means disposition. All the Rupas of Krishna are eternal. But our Rupas, which we become so enchanted and so trapped by this material world, they are all fallible. Only one Rupa is not fallible. That is Jive Swarupa Krishna Nitya Das. When that disposition, when that identity takes its shape, then we attain the eternal Rupa in the spiritual realm. But in Krishna's context, in the absolute realm, the Rupa and Swarupa, they have no duality. इसलिए कोई धोखा नहीं है. Krishna can, being God, he can still be the exclusive flute player, playing the flute and enchanting everybody. And other forms, they can also be simultaneously playing their role. Krishna takes all the credit. So how to drive the foxness out of our practice? Please enlighten.
Thank you very much, Maharaji. I think I could get some pointers. I'll make an attempt. So, yes, Krishna instead of Bhagwan. Actually, this Krishna is Bhagwan only, but Krishna is that definition of Krishna is the seat of all definition, even the definition of Bhagwan. So initially, these disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they were wishing to name the organization as ISGON, International Society for God Consciousness, ISGCON. But Prabhupada said, no, God has a name. And now I find this statement as a very, very beautiful mathematical statement. God has a name. So it should be ISKCON, Krishna. Because भगवान में कृष्णा में वो क्वालिटीज़ भी हैं जो कि भगवान में, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल वी कैन नॉट एक्सपेक्ट भगवान टू बी fearful or Bhagwan to be inquisitive, but Krishna is I sometimes show this inquisitiveness when he's searching for his friends, when the friends were stolen by Brahmaji. So these rasas. So anyways, Krishna is more defining. Krishna is more terminus. So therefore we say Jiva Swarupa Krishna Nityadas rather than Jiva Swarupa Bhagwan Nityadas. Pretty much in the case of numbers, we define these numbers as counting numbers, now 1, 2, 3, 4. But then how will you place 1.2 or 1.5 or any for that matter? So we make it even more, take it deeper. Okay, then we have rational numbers. Then how will you define root 2? Okay, we have got this irrational real number. Then how will you define these other numbers? So therefore, we choose a name for any set. We have a set and we choose a name. So that name itself carries a very, in this set theory or in this, there's such a one-to-one correspondence between the name and that set. So we define the red. How do we define red? Or how do you define the name red? We define red as the collection of all things which have the quality of redness. So therefore, Bhagwan is not enough. You have given me such a light by explaining that one line. Krishna means all attractive to all, everyone, to Jeev, to all very humongous. There are humongous varieties of jivas, and not only to jivas, to himself also. Krishna finds himself to be very attractive as Krishna. So therefore, when we establish this Krishna concept, the Krishna God, then I think the real Bhagavad Dharma can be established, which has to start with ourselves. Please correct me, Maharaji, if you think I have gone astray or somewhere I may need some more
Well,
insertions.
you have established Krishna is the limit, so how can you go anywhere beyond?
Yeah.
So you are within the limit. You are targeting the limit. That's,
I just use a pointers from you.
No. How can you be wrong? We are connecting to Krishna, so that one thing can be sure that we can be wrong.
Krishna, yeah, that Krishna mein Bhagwan plus many other things are also there.
Yeah, he's everything actually. He's the
Thank you very much.
he gives definition to everything. He gives a definition. He gives credence to any rupa manifestation of God.
Yes.
That's the beauty. So Krishna is all inclusive, and that it can be accepted then even within Bhagavad Dharma. Apparently, all the differences can be removed, because then one can see only Krishna playing the flute everywhere. That is the rule of Krishna. That is the magic. That is the Rupa. So that's where the Rupa stands out. So this is what we establish in our purest Bhagavad Dharma. We establish the Rupa. Swarup is not a problem anymore, because God is ruling everywhere, in any Rupa. But the rule of Rupa of Krishna, it rules over all other Rupas of God or Krishna. And that's where the true unison of rasa and everything can be established. Without that, people will still be fighting even in the name of Bhagavad Dharma.
Yes.
So how to establish the superlativeness of Krishna's Rupa? Ultimately, the Rupa and the flute and the love and what is that? Leela. They are so superlatively exclusive to Krishna. If one can be helped to see through this, they will be in unison. It's unfortunate that Krishna, however amazingly wonderfully he has established his exclusiveness, most of the people, even in the name of Bhagavad Dharma, they are not able to see how Krishna's Rupa rules over all other Rupas, including himself. That's why then he comes as Mahaprabhu to experience that his exclusive beauty. And those who relish his beauty, ultimately our Swamini, Srimati Radhika Rani. That's why the Mahaprabhu establishes for the benefit of the living entities, all of us. Yes, 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 become a devotee of God. And then it takes away all the other religions who are not trying to serve Krishna, but they are trying to serve themselves, as you said, in the name of religion, in the name of fox. So fox religion and the real religion. That's why I was really intrigued by the example you used of the fox. Everybody's trying to just grab their opportunities and circumstances, establish that they are the best, or this is how the religions are functioning, without having the actual essence or the realization that grapes could be really sour.
I think that also answers the former two questions by Balram Prabhu and Nilmada Prabhu. Now Balram Prabhuji must have got a